Hello and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Crystal. Today we have a book review. I honestly didn't think I'd do this on my channel for a long while because, like I said in my last video, I have trouble articulating my thoughts unless I've written them down prior. Coherence, what is that? Anyways, I didn't care because I have the first book I have been excited about since ACOTAR. Like, so much so that it put me in a little bit of a book slump. But I overcame my book slump and I finished my second book of February today. The fact ACOTAR put me in a 4-year book slump, but like in a good way. So today I'm filming in the first location I filmed in because I wanted to show you my new little setup. Actually, like, don't look too closely at it because after I did my my book haul, I kind of just threw all of the books in here because we had to eat dinner. So they're kind of like not in any particular order. The only two like things that make sense are if you don't know what this is a Kwame. This is Tiki from Miraculous Ladybug. My boyfriend and I have a bunch of these from a blind box and we have been hiding them around the apartment, and if we find it we're supposed to move it, and I did not know that was there. Alright, well, Tiki, you can hang out with us. Oops. The only things that really have order are these two stacks right here. So this stack is all of the books I read in January, and then this is my TBR for February. And then eventually I'm gonna have to move this. I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but it's gonna move so that my red will go here and then my March TBR. So I guess when my March TBR comes out of these shelves, I can put these back in here. So yes, the book that put me in a slump, a little bit of a slump, not like a scary slump to where I wasn't gonna read for 4 years, but just a slump to where like I just really wanted to go back to this book, was dun, 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 Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. Isn't the cover gorgeous? Like, I love this cover. And then as the series goes on, there's like more fire, like it becomes more engulfed in flames. It's really cool. And this is the Kindred's Curse Saga, book 1. Now, I want you to read this book so that we can all have like a beautiful discussion and just have a grand old happy time and everyone can just scream with me. So this is going to be a non-spoiler review other than like what is on the back of the book or like what you can find online. I loved this book. I talked a little bit about this book in my January wrap-up, but of course I hadn't finished the book at that point, so it wasn't like my real review. But I did give this book 5 stars. As soon as I put it out, I was like, 5 stars. 5 stars. This was a 5-star read for me. I have not read the other 2 books in the Kindred's Curse Saga, which is Glow of the Everflame and Heat of the Everflame, because of my book buying ban. Now, when I first bought this book, I knew I was going to like it. I really did. But I didn't want to buy series until I read the first book, but I am regretting that so much right now because of my book buying ban. That does not end until December, Jesus Christ, February 20th. As soon as I touch down in New York, I am going to order the next 2 books because I can no longer wait. I am sticking to my book buying ban, but as soon as I get back from New York, it is over for me. B-word. And the 4th book, Burn of the Everflame, has a new release date of June 1st, 2024 from its original release date, which was March 1st, 2024. And can I just commend Penn Cole for like a brief moment, because I feel like it's really hard to be like, hey, I'm not ready, I need more time. She made the choice to move the release date because she wanted the best for these characters and their stories in their final book. And I honestly respect that so much. I'm sure there's so much else going on behind the scenes, but I respect her so much for saying, hey, I want to do this right. I need more time, instead of rushing to put out the fourth and final book, which I think is amazing. And I feel like it also is a great service to fans of the series, because like we don't want to read something that's rushed. Like we don't mind waiting to get the vision that the author wants and to get the story that the author has been creating, the story that we've been following and we care so much about. So I don't mind waiting. Like, nobody minds waiting. That's what I don't understand, except maybe a publisher. I hate myself. Apparently I forgot to press record. So something like this always happens to me. Where was I? So it's time for my review. So I tried to write my own summary and it just did not work out the way I wanted it to. So I'm just gonna read the back of the book. This is also to ensure that I don't spoil anything, because I'm only going to read what is here. When old secrets catch fire, everything will burn. Sorry. What is that one movie where it's the daughter of a very famous like trailer announcer dude, movie trailer announcer dude? I watched it in one of my high school classes, but I cannot remember what it is. In a mortal world colonized by the goblins, I can't do this, and ruled over by the descendants, their cruel, magic-wielding offspring, DM Bellator yearns to escape the insular life of her poor village. Her mother's sudden disappearance and the discovery of a dangerous secret about her past offer DM an unexpected opportunity to enter the dark world of descended royalty and unlock the web of mysteries her mother left behind. With the dying king's handsome, mysterious heir watching her every move and a ruthless rebel alliance recruiting her to join the growing civil war, DM will have to navigate the unwritten rules of love, power, and politics in order to save her family and all of mortal kind. The prologue immediately had me hooked. We open with the mystery of her mother's disappearance, which is in the back of the book, so I'm not spoiling anything, which really catapults the story further. And from there, I could not put this book down. Now, I admit, I did not finish in one sitting. I was very close to, I think I read the prologue and chapter 1 like midnight, and then the rest of the day I spent reading. But then it was my cousin's birthday, and so I had to stop, and then the next day I didn't read as much, and then I finally finished, I think, on the 4th day. But if you count hours, I definitely would have finished in one sitting, but I just had so much else to do because adulting. I did follow, Penn Cole has a like reading guide of where you can take breaks, which I really appreciated because I don't like to stop in the middle of something happening, and I don't know where to stop, obviously, because I don't know what's coming. So I really appreciated her having this guide and telling me, hey, this is a good place to stop. I love these characters. And I genuinely cared for almost all of the supporting characters, and I found myself reading about other characters and hoping the best for them and wishing that their outcome would be a happy ending and stuff like that. And usually if there's like other characters mentioned in a book, I'm just like, okay, whatever, like they just move the story forward, you know, I don't really care what's going on in their lives. I don't know, I found that kind of surprising that I actually found myself while I was reading being like, oh my god, I really hope like they don't die, basically. I'm not saying anybody died, but like it's a fantasy book. It is a likely thing to happen. But anyways, around the 75% mark, there was a scene with the Bellators, and they're literally just talking. And I started crying. But I was crying out of happiness. And then
Shirt.
hits the fan. And I started crying again because of course this would happen right as they are having a nice moment as a family. That is how much I cared about these characters. I feel like that is rare. Okay, not really. I'm like a big baby, so I'm a big crier. Diem's character development throughout the book is also, it's great. I feel like we see her start as someone who is quite literally shielded from the world around her by her mother, and slowly the effects of that and why begin to unravel. And I think one of the reasons why I love this book so much is because we really do see the story unravel from Diem's perspective. And so all of these things that she's finding out, we truly go on this journey of finding out the truth with her. And I don't know, I feel like that was really cool. I like that. There was a review complaining about like the slow burn, and there's like one scene between the two characters and they said that it like came out of nowhere, and I respect their opinion, but I also don't agree because I feel like nowadays most books are told from multiple perspectives. I mean, I'm just looking at like this stack and it's like what is this? Oh, one, two, three, four. Carol, no. Assistant to the villain. Oh yeah, assistant to the villain. Like all of those were told from both perspectives of the male and female main characters, and this is solely told from Diem's perspective. And so I feel like, yes, I can see why it feels like everything for the male character happens like off script, off page, I guess. But I feel like Penn Cole really does a good job of giving us at least a little bit of insight as to how he also ends up there without literally telling it from his perspective. And then I saw those same people rate the first book a little bit lower, but they rated the second and third books either like a 4 or 5 stars, so that makes me really excited to read the rest of the series. I, for one, however, did really enjoy the slow burn. Like, it made me excited for every single moment that these characters had together, and like their biggest thing happens at like literally the last 100 pages, somewhere in there. Somewhere in the last 100 pages of the book is where these two characters like really actually, you know, not, but okay. I loved the world building. Let me show you. First of all, I love a good map in a book. Oh, here's my little key. This is how I do my tab keys. Because I don't like writing in books. So there's a map in here, and then over here it has the names of the 9 realms, and we are specifically looking at Lumnos. Now, while I was reading, I thought it was Lumos, and then I looked at the pronunciation. Lumnos is the realm of light and shadow, and then there are 8 other realms, and I really want to explore those in the next 2 books because we got a little taste, and it was enough to interest me, excite me, but I would like to dive deeper, and I really hope we get that in the next 2 books, or if there's like a spin-off, that'd be cool. But I don't even know like what the spin-off would be of. But yeah, I really enjoyed the world building. I have a tabby for the world building. I just thought it was really interesting, and I like the idea of this this realm being ruled by the gods, but then I think they sired, I don't know, what does that mean? They were with mortals, and then their offspring are half mortal, half descended. Wait, half mortal, half god, and that's how the descendants came to be, but I could be wrong. I can't remember, but yeah. And finally, the mystery of who is Diem Bellator, and where is her mom? I guess you will have to read to find out. Or not find out. I will say, I had an idea of what made Diem different. However, what I thought was maybe 10% correct, and then what actually ended up being the reality was like multiply that by 90, and like it was like up here, and I was just like, what? And then there is a cliffhanger, mind you, at the end of this book. So if you do end up picking up the book and you do not like waiting, I suggest buying all 3 books, because there is a cliffhanger at the end of this book. And I screamed. I was so angry. Not at the cliffhanger, but at myself for being on a book buying ban and not buying the 2nd and 3rd book, because I want to read the rest of the story so freaking bad. And then again, like I said, after I read this, I picked up the 7-Year Slip because it was on my February TBR. I did end up finishing, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4.5 stars, and I cried a lot. But like I said, it was so hard for me to pick it up and continue reading. I think I was reading like 40 pages at a time in the beginning, and then I think yesterday and today is when I finally sat down and was like, finish the book. Finish it. But it's because I could not stop thinking about this book, okay? I wanted to know what the heck these people are up to. What are they up to? I don't know, because I don't have the 2nd or 3rd book. I'm in distress. I literally, it was so hard for me to read the 7-Year Slip in the beginning, which I didn't give it 4.5 stars because I didn't give it its due diligence. Like, I gave it its time. After that, I ignored the fact that it took me forever to get started. But if I wasn't reading the Kindred's Curse saga, I didn't want to be reading anything. That's literally how I felt after I finished book 1. And if that is not saying something, then I don't know what is. Any hooty woody. That was kind of my review of Spark of the Everflame. I feel like I didn't say much, but hopefully it convinced at least one person to read the book and scream along with me. I don't know. In all seriousness, it checked all of my like romantasy boxes. It had a slow burn. It had some great world building. It had gods. I don't know what it is about the gods, but if there are gods in the book, and there is one line where they say, "Oh my gods," or "Oh gods," they got me. I don't know why. I love that phrase. I literally told Zach, my boyfriend, if you do not remember, but I was like, oh my god, like every book that I've read that has gods in it, they say, "Oh gods," or "Oh my gods," or like they just say gods plural, and I love that detail so much, and I don't know, it just makes me so happy, and every time I read it, I'm just like, I cannot wait to continue the series. I think I will read it in either March or April, like closer to the release of the 4th book, but knowing me, I probably won't be able to wait. I need to pick up this book. But also in March, I am planning to read these. So we'll see about that. It might have to happen after A Touch of Chaos comes out, because I am going to dedicate March to these babies. So yeah, go read Spark of the Everflame, and I will see you in my next video. If that is not this week, then it will be on Monday. And on Monday, I will be at Disneyland. At Sweethearts Night. But I'm still going to post. Thank you. And I will see you when I see you. Why am I like this? 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 Oh, hello. Hello.